This is the Solid Signal podcast for the week of July 27th, 2020. You know, for the last decade or so, we've been focusing on what's become known as the gig economy. It's hiring somebody to do something that you don't want to do or that you can't do or that you're not really interested in learning how to do. And look, that's absolutely fine. I know plenty of gig workers out there who earn a decent living, kind of just doing their own thing with their own special expertise. And I have to say that I've made some money doing YouTube videos, learning for people who want to learn how to do something that I know how to do. Nothing wrong with that. But the time has come, it seems, to get back to self-reliance. Self-reliance has been on the outs for about a decade, replaced by the gig economy. Why do something yourself when you could pay somebody else to do it? Totally get you there. But the thing about the gig economy is it's only going to take you so far if you really don't want to hire somebody to do something. If you don't want to hire somebody to do something because you don't have the money, that's one thing. But of late, I think a lot of us have become a little bit wary of hiring somebody to take us somewhere in an enclosed vehicle, come into our houses and repair something, or prepare something for us that we then have to be careful about whether or not we go and get or pick up or eat there. And that's just kind of a change that happened to us very quickly. I think you know why. I know I really don't want to get into the details of it on this podcast, but I think we all know. And it's okay that things have swung back. It's maybe very quick swinging back, but normally things will swing back and forth and that sort of thing. And that's why self-reliance is important. If you learn how to do something, if you become self-contained, you're going to become much more able to handle cases where maybe things change rapidly. Let's talk about how that really works if you're a home theater enthusiast. Now, one aspect of the gig economy, for example, is hiring somebody to provide your streaming entertainment, hiring somebody to provide your music, by which I mean you pay a monthly fee and you get all the music you want. That's great, but you're paying every month whether you use it or not. On the other hand, owning music, owning videos, or at least to the extent that you can, because all that stuff is really licensed, but at least you own the physical media of it. That means that you're going to have it all the time, during good times and bad. It's really become very far out of fashion to have physical media these days. I'm not advocating everybody go back to huge record collections. But on the other hand, if you happen to have a record collection or a CD collection or MP3 collection, you can lean on it in lean times. Because you know these are songs you liked in the first place. These are movies that you're going to enjoy watching over and over again. And they're not going to cost you any more to enjoy. Another aspect of self-reliance that's important is your television setup. Now, in some ways you could say, okay, it's almost impossible to be self-reliant and get the spectrum of entertainment that you're used to. You know, you're going to rely on streaming for some stuff. Even if you purchase something online, you don't actually own it. But a pay TV subscription and streaming subscriptions, they're going to go out to people every month. But you're forgetting about something that has always been an option, at least been an option since just after the Second World War. I'm talking about free over-the-air television. In tight times and when you need the kind of information that you can't get anywhere else, you can rely on local, free over-the-air television to give you what you need without any additional charges, day in and day out. If you're home and you've gone through everything there is to stream and the bank account's looking thin, why not cancel some of those streaming services, save a few bucks? You'd be surprised. Chances are you're paying as much now for streaming as you ever paid for pay television. And go back to over-the-air antenna. Over-the-air antennas can be used with DVRs so that you get the ability to record and pause. Or you can just get, what they call live TV. Plain old linear television that comes at you in real time and you watch what happens to be on the way it is at that moment. That's the way people watch television for, about 60 years until DVRs came in, and somehow they survived. And let's be honest, for many of us, we're not going anywhere. We can afford to sit down in front of the television when something is on and not watch it later. That's just the world we live in today. And where can you get an antenna? No, don't go to those big online stores that carry hundreds of thousands or millions of things and have no idea what they're talking about. Don't go to a big box store because, hey, you don't know who's going to be over there coughing and sneezing. No, go to solidsignal.com, and that's where you're going to find the best selection of over-the-air antennas plus free advice to give you the best experience possible. When you ask us what kind of antenna should I get, we don't just feed it through an algorithm or some sort of app. Anybody can do that. You can do that. That's the gig economy. But when you ask us for advice, a real technician takes a look at all the factors that you provide and comes with an antenna recommendation that's custom for you and all the accessories that you're going to need. And it's completely free. No obligation to buy. All you need to do is go to solidsignal.com, and there's a button at the top that says Get Antenna Help, and you fill out a form, and it takes about a day or two because a real person is actually doing the real work, not something that you can say very often these days. But once you do that and you buy the antenna and you put it up yourself, and this is a perfect time for putting it up yourself because the weather is fairly reasonable in most of the country, and it's safe to go up on the roof if you need to, and you can aim the antenna if you need to right from the inside of your house. Hey, once you do that, you've got dozens of live TV channels that you never have to pay anything else for. Oh, sure, maybe you're not going to use them in a couple of months, maybe 6-7 months. The world returns to normal, and you're back to doing whatever it is that you want to do. More power to you. I hope that that's the way things go. But in the short term, you're watching live TV. You're passing the time. You're getting the information you need. You're getting live sports to the extent that they're available. And it's all there for free. You've made a one-time purchase, and from then on, you are self-reliant. That's what self-reliance is in the 21st century. It's not just, chopping your own wood and milking your own cows. And okay, if you chop your own wood and milk your own cows, hey, that's great. Personally, I do not have a cow. It's been a while since I've chopped any wood, but I guess I could. I know how to do it. Did milk a cow once, but never really had a lot of call to do it otherwise. But at least when it comes to my home entertainment, I know that even if my internet were to go out, I would be reliant on my collection of music, on my collection of movies, and on live over-the-air television, and I could go months easily without feeling like I would be needing to repeat anything or reach out to pay for any more entertainment. That's the deal. That's what you really want and need right now. That's peace of mind. And you'll get it by going to solidsignal.com. I mention them a lot, of course, because they are the folks who pay for this podcast. And I do appreciate if you check out what they've got over there at solidsignal.com, because it pays my salary and pays for all the fancy equipment that makes this podcast possible. That's it for this week. Be sure to like and subscribe on any platform that you get this podcast on. Reminder that if you're not listening on Spotify yet, that we are available on Spotify, which is now the world's largest podcasting platform. And they're the largest because they carry the Solid Signal podcast. A lot of folks don't know that. They were hopelessly underprepared until we got signed up, and then now they're perfect. Anyway, that's it for the podcast for this week. Have a great one, and I will see you all again next week.